Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It is 9 o'clock on a Monday. It's time for a 5x5. And today I'm back with a performer special, another one of the performer specials, where I take a magician, I show you some live performance footage of him performing or her performing. I show you 5 videos and I talk about what we can learn from these videos and why this performer is so good. And today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite magicians of all time, somebody who's a stand-up comedian, a magician, a TV star, a creator. He's literally written the book and then some on close-up magic and stage magic. He is incredibly funny. I have been a fan of his from day one. I am, of course, talking about David Acer. Now, if you don't know who David Acer is, when I first got into magic, David was everywhere. It was David Acer, it was Richard Sanders, and it was Jay Sankey taking over the world. Now, David's not in magic as much as he was back in the day. I've heard that he's in comedy clubs now, and he does a lot of comedy clubs. But as far as I'm concerned, he's one of my favorite magicians of all time. He's from Canada. He performs very commercial close-up magic and very commercial magic in general, not just close-up, but on stage. He's technically very, very skillful, but his focus has always been on comedy. And I'm going to show you 5 older videos of David now. So this isn't some of his newer stuff. This is some of his older stuff. And I want to, I hope to do 2 things from this. But one of the main things I hope is that I open people's eyes to who David Acer is. And then you go and research him yourself and get some of his amazing books or get some of his amazing products. Because everything that David's ever brought out is pure gold. With that in mind, we're going to look at 5 tricks by David Acer that showcase, at least for me, why I think he's so awesome. And we're going to start off with one of his most popular tricks. This is a trick with a regular deck of cards, and this is called Change.
Kind of a fun thing. Why don't you both take it? You just say stop, Allie?
Okay, please.
Great. Oh, sorry. Say stop, Allie.
Stop.
Great. Let's grab that. And Allie, if you wouldn't mind just saying stop as well.
Stop. That's bait.
Thanks your card.
Thank you.
Whatever. Show the cards to the camera. In fact, I can see them too. It doesn't really matter if I want. It's fine. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Does it freak you out at all that they're both clubs?
A little bit.
Isn't it a little awkward?
Yeah.
You want me to, I can do a trick with that. Here's what I'll do. Let me try this out. I take the middle pip from the 5. See that? I can push it down on the 2. That makes a 4 and a 3.
Cool.
Wait a minute. There's more. Look at this. I take the 4 and the 3.
Yeah.
I can fuse them together into a 7.
Whoa.
That's not too bad. Of course, that doesn't help us very much. We can go back to the beginning. See that clump of 5?
Yeah.
I just tear that right off into a 5 and a 2.
Whoa.
Was it that way or this way? It was that way. Which way was it?
I think
that way? Do you want that one?
That's good. I want this one.
That's nice. I'm going to go sit down.
Okay.
So that was a performance of Changes by David Acer, and I remember reading this in one of his books. I can't remember which book it was in. I think Random Acts of Magic. I think it might have appeared in like the Magic Menu, possibly. I can't remember. But yeah, Changes is incredible. Look, if you're going to do card magic and you're going to go up to a group of people and you're going to start by doing card magic, I think you need something quick, something visual, something that people can immediately understand, that establishes credibility and shows them why you are so good. This is not the time to do a standard pick a card trick or your 21 card trick. What I love about this is it breaks all of the rules, because you start off by having 2 people pick cards, but you look at the cards. So immediately you can say, hey, this is not a trick where you pick a card and I find it. Look, take 2 cards. Wow, you guys got 2 clubs. How insane is that? Well, let me show you something crazy with this. And then you do the sort of thing that you would normally need like gaffed cards to do, right? This is the sort of thing that you would normally need gaffed cards to do, but there's no gaffed cards in play at all. There's no nothing. It is just a regular deck of cards with a very small setup that allows you to do all these wonderful changes. And it's almost like you're being beaten up by magic. Boom, you've got the first change. Boom, you've got the second change. Boom, you're back to the cards that they had at the very, very beginning. Immediately, if you're a cardician and you're going to start by doing card magic for somebody, why would you not want to do something like this? It is a regular deck of cards. You don't need a table. It's walk around. It's anytime. It's anywhere. And it just hits, and it hits hard. And also, and you're going to see this throughout the videos that I show you, but I want you to notice that although David is incredibly skillful, and he is incredibly skillful, and you'll see that over and over again, I want you to notice that the focus very much is on presentation. The focus is on entertainment. And I've been a big believer in that. At the end of the day, I'd rather people walk away from a performance that I've done and say, hey, he was entertaining, than, oh my gosh, that was really magical. Because I'm an entertainer first and a magician second as far as I'm concerned. And that's one thing that we can learn from David Acer. Now, with that in mind, we're now going to go into another routine. It's called Money Flies. And it's some of the best coin magic you'll ever see. Let's have a look at a performance of Money Flies.
Defend myself. You know, it's early in the morning. Hello. I'm still David Acker. Unless you haven't seen me yet, in which case, I'm David Acker. Watch very carefully. I'm going to show you something very unusual. Look. A coin. 2 coins. I'm going to do it again. 3 coins. 4 coins. You're lucky that wasn't the long version. Hello, sir. They don't have to hear you, but I'm going to ask you the questions. These are 4 American half dollars. 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's $2 American, $468 Canadian. Sir, have you ever heard the saying, and you can say it really loud, that time flies? Yes. Have you heard the saying, sir, and thanks for joining along, that time is money? Yes. Well, if time flies, sir, and time is money, I guess you could say that money flies. If you have no life. Sir, join me in a magical experience. 4 coins, sir. Watch very carefully. This is very unusual. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do it again, sir. 2, 3. You know, this kills in Canada, sir. You know what you're saying, sir? Because I do. 1 coin here, 1 coin here. It's the challenge of the 3rd coin. I am tired of hearing this from you, sir. You're telling me, and I can feel it, sir, I can sense it, that you think this whole trick reeks of sleight of hand. Well, I tell you what, sir, it does. But I tell you what I'm going to do. For your entertainment pleasure, and notice that that coin roll only went over 3 fingers. That's rare. Sir, have you ever heard the term elbow grease? Yes. Have you heard that if a donkey flies up your nose and you rub the elbow, you must water with the donkey? Watch this, sir. 4 coins. A little unusual, isn't it? Thank you. Sir, you're so silly. You know what, sir? That was sleight of elbow, by the way. This is sleight of shoulder, sleight of knee, sleight of nose, and sleight of belly button. Not my belly button, though, sir. Go ahead. Huh, guess it was my belly button. Man, did you look stupid. It's the cream of the Wichita crop. No, I'm kidding, sir. You're nutty. Watch very carefully, ladies and gentlemen. 1 coin is probably easier to follow with 1 coin. You can actually slam the coin through your hand, and I do mean... Whoa, hang on. I thought the trick was over, sir. Actually, you could just pop it through the bottom of the glass. I think it's pretty much over now. That's it. Well, it's certainly... Actually, you know what, sir? Maybe the problem isn't using 1 coin. Maybe the problem is I'm not using enough coins. Maybe a whole shower of coins would be more fun. Wouldn't that be nice?
So that was Money Flies, and I just love every little bit of that. I've always been a big fan of coins to glass. I think that having that moment, especially if you're performing in a parlor situation, and the event that David was performing at there was a parlor, a stage type, a mini cabaret style sort of setting. I much prefer coins to glass in that setting because you can see and you can hear the coin landing. Even if you're using smaller coins, people can see and hear that coin landing. I also love the opening production with the rope, and you just got the rope and boom, he's using the glass to make the coins drop from the rope into the glass. And again, it's so important when you're doing coin magic, especially to a larger group of people, that you understand that one of the key things about coin magic is that audible moment, and you don't get that with card magic. You just don't. So having that audible kind of moment where you hear the coins appearing, and then you've got that audible moment of the coins jumping into the glass, there's so much you can make from that. There really is. And the 2 things that I want to talk about here. This is in essence a 3-phase routine. The first phase is the coin appearance. Then the second phase is the coins jumping across. And then the third phase is the repeat coins jumping across, which is not the easiest thing in the world, by the way, if you're not into coin magic. What he did there was incredible. But notice he was doing it in such an entertaining way. It was like, hey, touch this, this is sleight of elbow, this is sleight of foot, this whatever it may be. It's funny, it's entertaining, like I said in the first video, but it also looks really magical. And having that moment where you've just done a coins across and then boom, you do it again, great. Absolutely just spot on as far as I'm concerned. The other thing I want you to notice is when David performs sleight of hand, it looks effortless. And I think that that's what we need to strive to do when we perform our magic. It needs to look effortless. You see sometimes people for performing sleight of hand and it looks like they're struggling or they've got something going on. You don't know what's happening, but you know there's trickery and chicanery taking place. Go back and watch this performance again. Watch the production. Watch the coins across. Watch the next coins across. It looks effortless. It looks like nothing's happening. If you really could do magic, if you could really make coins appear, if you could really make coins fly from one place to another, there's a very good chance it would look like this. And I think that we should all strive to make our magic look really effortless. So there you go. That is Money Flies. Now we're going to go into another routine, and we're going to go into impossible foreign exchange. Let's look at the performance of impossible foreign exchange.
I want to show you something. I know you're on tour right now. I'm taking on a little magic vacation. I've got a blank deck. I've actually written a different city and country and state on every card. We got Sydney, Melbourne, Nepal. It's all different. All Edinburgh, Edmonton, County. You can go to all sorts of different places. I'm going to take you on a little trip right now, if that's okay with you. Okay, I want you to say stop.
Stop.
Sucker. Okay. Just say stop.
Stop.
Whoa, that was quick. Okay. Go to the camera. That's your distance. Oh, also I need a $5 bill. Does anybody have $5 I can borrow?
You got a $5? Yeah.
Doing,
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's try this out. $5. Okay. What was the first destination?
Toronto, Canada.
Okay. Little problem. They don't accept this there, so I'm going to help you out. I wasn't going to do this, but let me fold the 5, do a little packet just like this, and squeeze it just like that, and it changes into a Canadian $5 bill. So problem solved there. And what did you get? Maybe
Dominican Republic.
That's a problem. Okay, let me try this out. Canadian 5. Fold it up just like this. Blow, and it changes into a Dominican 5 pesos. How about that?
Awesome.
Not bad, eh?
That's cool. That is cool.
Thanks. Glad you
Very,
liked
very
it.
cool.
Okay, so that was impossible foreign exchange. And obviously, any magician that's watching this will immediately go, well, it was just a bill switch. Or it was just a couple of bill switches, which is in essence true. It is just a couple of bill switches. But here's the thing, and I've been a big fan of this from day one, and I talk about this on the channel all the time, which is making a trick your own. You know, so you've learned a $100 bill switch. Fantastic. Well done. What are you going to do with that? Because there's a million different ways that you can take this. And what David's done is he's made it more impossible. Rather than just the amount of people I see that go, hey, look, I've got a $1 bill. Now it's a $10 bill. Now it's a $1 bill again. Thank you very much. Tip your waitress on the way out. Good night. And it's kind of like, okay, yeah, he can switch one bill for another. Great. But what we've got here is, first of all, we've got an interesting hook because we're talking about exchange rates. Now, you could make a bigger deal of that than David did if you wanted to and go, hey, one of the things I hate the most is when I'm traveling, I've got to exchange my money. It's a nightmare. Hey, if I could do this, but but then I realized I'm a magician and I can do it by magic. And that's the thing. If you're really, I think it's nice to be able to perform magic where it actually has a point, right? Because a lot of the time it's like, well, okay, he can make a card come to the top of the deck. What point is that? But if you can say, well, you know what? If I could actually change money into any currency that I wanted to, wow, that's something that I would like to do. So first of all, it's got an interesting hook. But second of all, it's made more impossible by the fact that he's apparently giving people a free choice of the destination. So, and it would have been very easy to just go, hey, when I'm on holiday, I change it to this and then change it to that. But just that one simple addition makes the routine 20 times better and 20 times more impossible. And John Costafaro, he talks about this as a 1 degree change. Like you change 1 degree of a routine, you change something and it makes it a lot better. It turns it into something completely different. And that's what we have here, just through the use of the hook line and just through the use of the double change and the use of the fact that you're apparently giving people a free choice of the destination. It makes this routine way more impressive. I guarantee you, if you followed somebody who did just a normal bill switch in the very normal style, look, it's a $1, now it's $100, now it's a $1 again, here's your bill back, and then you did this, people would find this more impressive. Because there's a little bit more to it. There's more for people to engage with it. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I learned from watching this performance, and the fact that it's a crazy good trick. You know, sometimes I think we forget how impressive it is changing one bill into another. Anyway, with that in mind, we're now going to go on to the fourth David Acer trick that I'm going to present to you today. And this is called Unflappable. And this is his torn and restored matchbook.
You ever write a phone number on a matchbook? Does that ever happen to you? Something you ever do?
Yeah.
You're at a bar, somebody wants to give you a phone number. I'm going to show you something. This is kind of weird. I'm going to write your phone number down. Are you okay with that? I got nothing written on it as of yet. But and let me, just so you don't think I'm stalking you, let me start with 555. That way you know I can't really. And what are the last 4 digits of your number?
7-1.
7.
142.
Slow down, egghead.
7-1.
1.
4 2.
7. 1. 4
2.
2. Got it. Okay. Now, here's what I wanted to share with you. Your phone number on this matchbook. Now, here's the mistake I used to make. What I would do is, invariably, I would tear off the flap. And that is a big mistake. You should never do that. Do you know why? Because if you tear off the flap, you lose it invariably. So keep it on. This is my point. If you just heat it up a little, you can actually get it to fuse right back on the matchbook, phone number and all.
So that was Unflappable, and it's basically a torn and restored matchbook. Now, I talked a little while ago on this channel. I talked about torn and restored routines, not necessarily cards, but all the different ways you can tear something and put it back together, or you can break something and put it back together. And I hypothesize that it's one of the strongest things that you can do for a layperson, because they can relate to that. Oh, who's been there in the past where your glasses are broken? If you could say to somebody right there, I can teach you how to do magic and fix your glasses like that, I know that anybody who's got glasses would immediately go, oh my God, yes, that's amazing. Having the ability to fix something that you've broken is cool, right? So if we can relate to that, and if we can agree with that, then Unflappable is one, really good, because it's a very clean torn and restored effect. Because, you know, it was Di Vernon that said that magic shouldn't be confusing, and you should be able to describe a trick in one sentence, right? Well, there you go. You tear a matchbook and you put it back together again. Everybody knows what a matchbook is. Everybody knows what it is. You tear it off, you put it back together, and you immediately give it back to somebody. Really great. But the thing that really makes this, from my point of view, is the fact that it's apparently completely unique. It's the only one of its kind. There is no other matchbook like this, because it's got this number on it that nobody else has, because it's their number, right, on their cell phone or their mobile phone. And the use of that phone number really takes this trick from being a good trick to being a great trick. And I really do believe that any time that you can sign something or make somebody believe that what they are seeing is completely unique and it's the only one in the world, whether it be tearing a corner off or whatever, then that makes the trick so much better. Do an ambitious card with a signed card, then do it with a non-signed card and see what people say, right? But it doesn't always have to be signed. And this is the perfect example of this. David has worked out a way of having this matchbox completely unique to the person he's performing for, whilst in reality, it's not being signed. And I think if there's something we can learn from this, it's how can we add this into other parts of our magic? Because if we can take this and we can apply it to other routines, well, think about what you could do if you've apparently got a unique playing card or a unique coin that's completely unique to that person, and they are convinced it's completely unique, whilst in reality, it's not. And I'm not talking about a coin and they've looked at the date on it, for example, because there's thousands of coins with that date. I'm talking about really making it unique, like he has done here with this matchbook. If you can actually do that and you can take this and apply it to other tricks within your repertoire, you're going to have absolutely miracles on your hands. But in terms of this, what a fantastic opener. You know, I spoke to somebody many years ago, and I wish I could remember their name, but I can't. But they actually did this trick a lot, and they actually printed their own matchbooks with their logo and their contact details on it. And this was a trick that they did at every single table. What they would do is they would take out the matchbook and say, hey, I'm going to give you one of these. This is my contact details, but let me show you something. And they'd do this and give it back to them. And this is something that people are going to remember. This is definitely something that people are going to remember, and they're going to be carrying your contact details with them. So there you go. That's Unflappable. That's the fourth routine by David Acer that's just simply awesome. We're going to look at the final one now, which is a marketed trick. Unfortunately, you can't get it anymore. You might be able to get the instructions somewhere. You might want to look at library.com. They're probably a really good place to start. Maybe check out Penguin Magic, because a while ago they did have some. Don't think they have any more, but maybe you could bring them up and check. This is called Pickpocket by David Acer. So I've got lots of different ways of doing this. I've got something on the Netrix called the virtual coin assembly, where the coins virtually gather together. I've got pictures of coins on cards. This is a really nice way of doing it. This is not being presented in like a matrix style way. This is being presented in a, hey, look, I've got this card. I'm going to put it over there. Look, I've got all these other cards. One at a time, these coins are going to go. And oh my God, it's over there. I mean, it's a very strong trick when you think about it. I love packet tricks at the best of times. For me, this is a great transition from a card trick into a coin trick. It's a great transition from a card trick into a coin trick. It's a great way to actually kind of go into coins. So you've just done the cards and you go, oh, let me show you one more card trick. But this is kind of a coin trick because I've got cards, but I've got coins on them. Let me show you something with one of these. And you put it to one side and you say, well, I'm going to do this and blah, 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 blah. And then all of the coins go over there. You could even, if you wanted to, do a top change or something, switch it for a blank card and then produce the coins and then go into a coin routine. Or you could say, well, I've got this is coins printed on a playing card. Let me show you what the real thing would look like. And then you take some real coins out and you go into some coin magic. But this is a perfect example of just a trick that is super commercial. And it really is, it's very, very old. A lot of the tricks that I've presented to you on this video are not new tricks. They've been around since time began. This trick has been around since time began, but you could perform this to somebody now and it would be just as good now as it was 20 years ago. And it's what I talk about on the hidden gem segments on this channel, which is we stand on the shoulders of giants. And there are tricks out there that are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old that are as good as anything that's come out today, but we're chasing the latest trick and we're forgetting about how good the stuff is in the olden days, which is why you need to look at some of that old stuff. You need to watch the hidden gems on this channel and look at all of the stuff that have been around, because that's what's going to make you unique, because you want to do tricks that nobody else is doing. You're not going to get that by buying that latest trick, because by buying that latest trick, you're just buying the trick that everyone else is buying. If you do a trick from 20 years ago that no one knows about, no one's going to know about it, and it might not even be available anymore. So that's my big piece of advice to you, but it's another example of why David Acer is so brilliant. So there you go, guys. That's another 5x5 in the bag. Do me a favor. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. You want to see more videos like this? Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Again, leave a comment down below. And I'm going to be back again soon with another video. And in the meantime, if you haven't already done so, please go ahead and check out the Netrix. www.thenetrix.com. www.thenetrix.com. Go check it out. See what all the fuss is about. We've got a Discord server attached to the Netrix now, which is free to members on all levels. Exciting stuff is happening on the Netrix, and I'm so glad you're a part of it. I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig from Magic TV.